request you not to forget to subscribe to this channel. Let's start the video without wasting your valuable time. The 2024 Spectre is Rolls-Royce's very first electric car. It costs $420,000 and up. That tremendous chunk of change gets you an opulent interior and positively serene driving experience. The Spectre is the first fully electric production model to emerge from the British luxury brand, built on the architecture of luxury that also underpins the Cullinan and the 8th-generation Phantom. The arrival of all new Rolls-Royce is an occasion, but this one is especially, so it's the 2024 Spectre and it's the first electric Rolls-Royce. It's also the first ultra-luxury EV, which makes it an especially big deal. Let's dive into its deep carpet and rich veneers and see what it's all about. You wouldn't guess it's an EV by the way it looks, and that's very deliberate. The company's clients were very clear on this matter. They wanted to look like other Rolls-Royces, and by the way their customers already have one or two in the garage. Typically it still has the bluff front, and although the grille is more closed off because the cooling air isn't needed in the EV, still has a long hood, long dash to axle, even though there's no need to package that twin-turbo V12 under the hood anymore. There's a number of aero tweaks to get the coefficient to drag down to an impressive 0.25 both under body and on top. Even the Spirit of Ecstasy pitches in on that matter. She deeps steeper with her wings back further to cut through the air more cleanly than before. So with any Rolls-Royce, the Spectre comes an almost unlimited number of possible options. The view from the plush front seats is limited by a high belt line with countless distractions. The Spectre rides on the same platform as the Phantom sedan and Cullinan SUV, but is propelled by a fully electric powertrain consisting of two electric motors that pump out a combined 577 horsepower. The driving range is estimated to be around 260 miles per charge, which does not place the Spectre among the long-range EV cohort with less expensive rivals such as the Tesla Model S and the Lucid Motors Air. But buyers with the $450,000 or so available to buy a Spectre aren't likely to road trip when their private jet is always standing ready at a nearby airfield. The Spectre is Rolls-Royce's first in a series of EVs, and the company says that its gasoline-powered models will be phased out of the lineup and replaced entirely with EVs of gorgeous leather and wood interior materials that are mostly infinitely customizable. A tap of the vents suggests billet. The interior is still wrapped around a central tunnel despite no longer having a longitudinal drivetrain. The now familiar Starlight headliner, which is dotted with star-like looking points of light, is augmented with a new option called Starlight Doors, featuring 4,796 additional stars in the doors and rear seat area, or you can go with the traditional and spectacular wood paneling. That rear seat is definitely comfortable for adults, but those over 6 feet tall will want a little legroom assist from the person sitting in front. Once you've taken it all in enough to get on with the business of driving, the Rolls' typical streaming wheel that's thin-rimmed and large diameter is light and fair but very precise and pleasantly surprising, passed along subtle road feedback over large swells in the road. The Spectre can be slightly too floaty front to back, but the roll is well controlled. The forward view from the driver's seat of the Spectre stuffing its lane makes it feels as massive as it is, but the four-wheel steering and active anti-roll bars make it drive far smaller. If you subscribe to the chief engineer's take that silence is luxury, then the Spectre is quite likely the most luxurious vehicle ever. It's so silent that to experience it is to ruin every other vehicle, including the rest of the current Rolls lineup. Compared to a ride the next day in a Cullinan SUV, which is one of the quietest vehicles we've ever measured, the Spectre was so much quieter we thought one of the Cullinan's windows might be slightly open. Pricing starts at $422,750, but with a seemingly endless amount of customization possible. The company says it expects most of the vehicles to transact above $500,000. Rolls says 40% of those who have ordered a Spectre are new to the brand, and the first year of production, roughly 2,500 cars, is already sold out. Deliveries start in November 2023. Nothing about the Spectre's arresting presence shouts about the sea change in propulsion, and that's deliberate. The brand's customers are not interested in a stylistic departure as Rolls-Royce transitions all its models to electric propulsion by 2030. The company's first EV is about far more than just a lack of noise, however. Its tires roll so frictionlessly over smooth roads that you could believe you're hovering over the road, although sharp impacts ground those thoughts and serve as a reminder of the weight of the 23-inch wheels and 32-inch tall Pirelli P0PZ4 Elect tires. The rolling smoothness is why we think the Spectre should have a coasting mode, which would continue the otherworldly feeling of effortlessness. Instead, there's a modest amount of default rigging, with a B button on the spindly column shifter to increase regenerative braking to the point that it will bring the car to a stop without a touch of the brake pedal, which is a bit long of travel in an attempt to guarantee smoothness. Other than that, the Spectre has no selectable drive mode settings, an approach we wholeheartedly agree with. Offer a single excellent tune without giving drivers numerous ways to screw it up. For the same reason, there are no audio settings. The only other choice relating to the powertrain is a Rolls-Royce noise that scales with motor output. It sounds like an ominous futuristic storm that's a considerable distance away. With it off, our preference, the motors are perfectly silent. They're also plenty strong, although acceleration isn't bonkers by today's EV standards. Still, a rush to 60 miles per hour in the low 4-second range roughly matches the performance of the brand's V12 models. I request you not to forget to subscribe to this channel.